Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm taking a look at the Bag of Butts, also known as Der Popo-Beutel by Andreas Preiss by Loosey Goosey Games. This is a game for 2 to 4 players, which plays in about 20 minutes for ages 10 and up, and it's a bag drawing game where you draw butts from a bag to try and score as many points as you can. Before I start explaining how to play the game and share my thoughts on it, I'd like to point you towards my Patreon page, because if you'd like to support what I do, that is very much appreciated, and you can do so for just €1 or more per month. Check out my Patreon page, the link is in the description below, and in return you'll get early access to my videos, access to some Patreon exclusive videos, as well as your name in the credits. All right, let's start with setting up the game. All right, before I explain the game, let's take a look at what you find in the box. It's a very colorful box, really nice compact box, the Bag of Butts. Nicely colored, loosey goosey there in English and in German. And in German it's called Der Popo-Beutel, which is also quite funny. So it has the English and the German text on it, what it's about. Plays 2 to 4 players in 20 minutes for ages 10 and up. All right, let's take a look. So first of all, we find a pencil. We find a Ziploc bag of butts with some silica gel. I'm going to keep our butts nice and dry. And as you can see, these are wooden, colorful butts. So we have all of those. Let me just get those out of the Ziploc bag. There we go. There's all kinds of different colors. There we are. I'll just push these here. We have a nice black soft cloth bag. Unfortunately, no logo or anything on it, no name, Bag of Butts. That would have been nice. But it's just a plain black bag, so you can take all of your butts and put it in the bag. Put them all inside. And otherwise, in the bag, we also find in the box a scoring sheet. So you can write down the names of the players and their scores, and there's plenty of these. So that's okay. And of course, the rule book in English and in German. So the rules are simple. It's just one leaflet. And that's it. So, all right, let's start to explain the game. The setup is really simple. Just take the notepad and the pencil and keep that close. One person can be the scorekeeper. Take all these special butts, which are the gray, black, white, and brown butts. Just keep them within easy reach. And all the colorful butts right here, the green, yellow, pink, and blue ones. You decide how many players are playing. So if you're playing 4 players, every player chooses a color and takes one of those butts of their color and keeps them in front of them to indicate their color. So everybody knows which color is who. And if you're playing with fewer than 4 people, you could just remove the butts you don't use. So for example, if we're a 3-player game and nobody picked blue, you just remove 1 from the game. The others are kept in front, and the other 2 of each color are all placed into the bag. So here is the bag. Simply take the bag, take 2 of each color, even the ones that are not playing, and you put them in a bag and give that a bit of a shuffle, and then you're ready to play. Let's explain the rules. Decide which player gets to go first, and that player will take the bag of butts with the 8 colored butts in there, and they will draw 3 times from the bag to draw all the butts. And they need to announce at first how many butts they will draw for the first group, how many butts are going to be in the second group, and the rest will be in the third group. So for example, we know there's 8 in here. They're gonna say, okay, well, 2 for the first group, 3 for the second group, and that means 3 for the last group. So they go in, and they blindly draw 2 butts, and that will be the first group right there. And they will draw 3 butts All right, you got 3. And that will be the second group right there. And then the rest will be, oh, there goes one, the third group. So there we go. So now they decide which group, this one, or this one, they want to score. So if the first player was the blue player, they don't want to score this because then the yellow and the blue player will get 1 point. So they could choose this one or this one. Now at the start of the game doesn't really matter that much. So perhaps they're gonna choose this group. So that means the yellow player, which is perhaps the third player here, gets a point. The pink player, the fourth player, gets a point. And the, of course, also gets a point, which means that the green player, the second one, is not getting a point. You just mark an X, and this is the first round. In the second round, before you pass on the bag, you simply take all the butts, put them back into the bag, all of them, and then the second player randomly picks one of the special butts. Now there's not a second bag in here, so you need to put these like in a cup or something, or you could just take them all and then shake until one of them drops out. So do it like this and then drop one, and that will be the one you put in. I just got myself a second bag to put them in because I think that's just easier. So then you draw one random special butt and put that in the bag with the rest. And every turn, every player that takes a turn will do that. Until a certain point, you reset the game. I will explain that in a bit. So then the second player, well, there's now 9 butts in here. So the second player will do the same. It's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna do 2, 4, and then the rest. So first draw is these 2. The second player is the green player. So then 4, 1, 2, 3, and another one, 4. That's the second group. And then the rest will be the last group. So there we go, 9 butts on the table. So now they have to choose which group to score. So let me now explain what the special butts do. So I'll just take them out so you can see them. So we've got a black one, a gray, and there's 2 of those. And then there's 1 white and 1 brown butt. The black butts are the no-touchy butts. That means if there's a black special butt, or if there are both, black butts in a butt group, you cannot score that group. You have to select another group. The gray ones are bonus point butts. For each gray special butt in a group that you score, then each player, not just you, will earn 1 additional point per player butt of their color for those gray butts. So it basically acts as a joker of each player's color in that group. The white butt will get you an extra turn. So if you select the group with the white butt, you immediately take an additional turn after your current one. And you can take multiple additional turns in a row if you keep on, scoring the group that has the white special butt. But as with every turn, every time you've taken a turn, you have to add 1 of the special butts randomly to the bag. So even if you take an extra turn, you still have to pick another special butt, put it in, and then take that second turn, etc. And then the brown butt, or as I like to call it, the golden butt, and I wish it was golden, that's a catch-up butt. So if that butt is in the group that you score, then it counts as an additional player butt of the player who had the fewest butt points at the start of your current turn. In case of a tie for the fewest butt points, then the special butt counts as a player butt of each tied player. So it's the second turn. There's 1 special butt in here. So now scoring is starting to ramp up, because now in this round, every butt of your color, so they're going to select this or this. You can't select this one because of the black butt, but there's a green one here and a green one there. And they might think, you know what, I'm gonna select this one because then only 1 other player gets extra points and not 2 other players. This is the least damage. So I'll take this group, and now my butts are worth 1 point for the butts that I score, plus 1 for each special butt, or basically equal to the round we're in. So that means plus 1. So they're all worth 2 points since this is round 2. So that means this blue butt is also worth 2 points, and so is this. So that means the blue player now gets 4 points. So you add that up with the one that's already here. So they're at 5. And then I'm the green player. I get 2 points. So I score 2. I didn't get any points in the previous round. And the other 2 players don't get any points. So they stay at 1. You just note a cross once again. So the second player's turn is over. They take all the butts, including the special ones that were already in the bag, and put those in. And the next player will also randomly pick a special butt to put in the butt bag. And they have to draw all the butts again, announcing how many they are going to put in each group. So let's say 3, 3, and the rest. So we got 3 butts here, which has the gray one. Then we have another 3, which has 2 yellows, which is great for the yellow player, and the rest. And there's 4 in here. Now, can't select this group. That's fine. There's no yellow ones in here. It's probably gonna select this group, of course, and not this one. So now all the butts are worth 3 points, because this is the third round. There's 1 point for your color and 1 for each special butt, basically. That's how you can keep count. And in this group, remember, there's the gray one. That scores extra points. So this wouldn't just be worth 3 points, but you get an extra one in this group. So this is 4 points, and this is 4 points. But we don't want to give points away. So they're just going to score this group, and then write down, because this is the third round, this is 3, this is 3, so that's 6 points for the yellow player, which is number 3. We already had 1, so we have 7 in total. The green player now has 3 from this, so they add the 3 to the 2 they had, that's 5. These get nothing, and this player also gets nothing, and that's how you continue playing. So then the yellow player also picks a random butt from the bag, puts all of them back. So then the next player draws butts. So if something like this should happen, they draw butts from the bag, and every group has a special butt, then the game resets. Now when this happens, then no one earns any butt points, because you're not allowed to select any group of butts. So that means that player doesn't get to pick, doesn't get to score anything, and they have to take out all the special butts and put those back with the rest, and then put these back into the bag of butts. And then the next player basically starts over. So you just note that that was the last round, and you start at round 1 again, where every butt is just worth 1 point, and then you add 1, and then they're worth 2, and you add 1, and then they're worth 3, etc. So this means at some point when there's multiple of these special butts in the butt bag, you're going to want to, you're gonna press your luck. You're gonna say, well, I'm gonna do the first group with just 1, hoping that's not a special one. So all the special ones will be in the second and the third group, so that you can perhaps score big time with a group that has a lot of special butts. But of course, there's the black one there, you can't select it, so there's that as well. There's a lot of things you need to keep in mind, but maybe there haven't been any black ones in the group yet, and you just had all of these, which are nice butts that will get you an extra turn or extra points. So you might want to play it safe and, have a group that hopefully doesn't have any. So if you, space them out equally, chances are that there's going to be a special butt in each of them, and that will reset the game. Players can also choose to voluntarily reset. Now, that's not going to happen a whole lot of times, because it's mostly not in your best interest, but it's something you can do. So if there's a lot of special butts in there, you can say, well, I'm not going to bother drawing, I'm going to reset, and you just take out all the special ones, skip your turn, and give the bag to the next player. Now, should it happen that you're still playing and you can no longer add any special butts because they're all in there already and you can't add any more, then the next player doesn't have to add a special butt at the beginning of the turn. So that means the value of each player butt in the butt group that the player is going to score will still be 1 point higher than the previous turn. So that's why you also note the turn number on the left here. So they keep increasing in points. And as soon as one of the player reaches 28 or more butt points, then the game will end at the next reset. So you just keep playing until you have at least one special butt in each of the 3 groups that has been drawn. That means you reset, and that's when you end the game. Then you count up your scores and see who has the most points. And then of course the player with the most butt points wins the game. All right, that's it in a butt shell. Let's go to my final thoughts. So my final thoughts on Bag of Butts by Loosey Goosey Games. Let's start with the components. So it's a pretty small box. It's a nice and sturdy box, very colorful box, and I do like seeing that. And all you have inside is a pamphlet of the rules in German and English. In this case, you get a bag to put all your butts in. You get your notepad, which just fits into the box, so the box isn't bigger than it needs to be. And there's plenty of sheets on this notepad. They're single-sided, though. They could have been double-sided for even more scoring pads. And you might want to laminate just a couple when you run out, so you can still use a dry erase marker on them. You also get a pencil to keep score. And of course, you get a number of these wooden tokens, which are the butts, which is pretty fun in very colorful colors. So that I do enjoy. There's not a whole bunch of components, but the components that you get are good. I like that you get an actual bag. That's what the game is about, of course, to throw in your butts in the different colors. The only thing I would have liked to see is that the special butt, it's beige, but that should have been gold. The golden butt, because it's such a special butt. You know, that's the only thing I would have probably changed, but otherwise, the components are very good. Usually I always talk about the artwork, but there's not a whole lot of artwork except then the design of the actual butts, which I do like. They're quite funny, quite a little abstract butts almost. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot to talk about. So we'll just skip that and go right to theme. There's also not really much theme here. You're drawing tokens from a bag, and that's basically it. And then you're grouping them in 3 groups and deciding which group to take that will score you the most points. So, you know, apart again from having a bag of butts, it's kind of like just a joke. The theme doesn't really matter, but I can appreciate the little tongue-in-cheek that they were going for here. So yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. Most importantly, of course, is the gameplay. Now, the gameplay is very simple. All you do is put all the butts in the bag, you give that a shuffle, you know, a little shake, and you draw the number of butts. And you're drawing them all, and you're basically just saying, well, my first group will be a number of butts. Second group, a number of butts, and the third group is the rest. And then every time you add, after every round, you add one of the special ones. So you just start out with the player colors, and that's it. That's just, well, you know, if you're playing with all players, you get 4 colors times 2 butts, because you keep one as an indication of your player color. So there's just 8 in there. So you might have a group of 2, 2, and 4, or 3, 3, and 2. Whatever you want in any order, or even 1, I believe. So that is very simple and straightforward. And all you do then is you group them, and it's the luck of the draw, and then you choose which one is most beneficial to you. And that is an easy choice. That is an easy choice. But then afterwards, you start adding these special butts, and it starts getting a little more interesting, because now those are in the mix, and those might change it up a little. But it's still pretty much an easy choice. The hardest choice you're going to have to make is which other player am I also going to grant some points if I take that group for myself to score. So all in all, gameplay is extremely simple, and it's usually just a luck of the draw and then making a simple decision what to get. So in all honesty, there's not a whole lot of gameplay here. It is really meant as a fun little filler game with a tongue-in-cheek theme, but we did actually enjoy it quite a lot. I brought it to work, and we played it in the lunch breaks with colleagues, and they wanted to play it again and again. I had a group of colleagues which were particularly interested in playing it. I'd like to thank them for playing it with me. That always helps, of course, so big thumbs up to my colleagues for that. And they wanted to be in the video, so here they are. And again, we just had a lot of fun with it, even if it's just really, really light. So if you're looking for something more complex, this is not your game. If you're just looking for a really quick, fun, tongue-in-cheek little game where you're drafting, butts from a bag and then selecting which group to score and possibly giving other people points to, you need to just keep their score. You need to keep that in mind. You need to keep an eye on the scoring pad to see who has the most points, who has the least points, and that's basically what you're doing. So very simple, but fun. Replayability, in my case, was quite high because we kept playing it and playing it, and it's over really quickly. It's a very fast game. You just draw the butts, choose, put a special butt in there, next player goes, etc. Until at some point all three groups have a special butt, and you reset the game and you go again until somebody reaches, the number of points required to win, which was 28 points, which triggers the end game. And then when the game resets again, you check who has the most points at that moment, and that player wins the game. It's very simple. So you can play again and again if you enjoy it. Then there's the language dependency. There basically is no language dependency because all you're using is the bag and the butts, and that's it. All you need to do is explain the rules. So you get an English and a German set of rules. So if you can understand any of those languages, just translate that in any language you need to your friends and you're ready to go. So there is zero language dependency in the actual game, which also deserves a thumbs up. All in all, I did enjoy it. It's super light, but it's fun. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. So if that's a game you're looking for, go check it out on their website, Loosey Goosey Games. I'll put a link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and it really helps my channel to grow. I'd also like to thank Loosey Goosey for giving me this game to review at Spiel last year. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.